In this video I'm going to look at a part 2 topic. This is one of the new topics that was released in 2018. Describe a famous athlete. And in this topic you should say who he or she is, how you heard of him or her, what he or she has achieved, and explain why you think he or she is famous. I'm delighted I've got this topic because I'm a massive fan of sport. In particular, I'm obsessed with football. That's English football, not American football. The player I'm going to talk about is a centre forward called Harry Kane. Since I'm really into football, that's how I heard of this player. Moreover, I'm a supporter of Tottenham, and he plays for them, so I watch him week in, week out, and he's probably one of my favourite players at this moment in time. He has been playing for Tottenham for, let me think, about 9 or 10 years, but for some of that time he was on loan to other clubs. In terms of achievements, well, there are quite a few. Despite the fact that he has not won any trophies with his club or when he is playing for his national team, England, he was awarded the title of Player of the Year in England last season and has won the Golden Boot for the last 2 seasons. Furthermore, for the calendar year of 2017, he scored the most goals in a season. He scored a total of 56 goals for club and country. Amazingly, he scored more goals than 2 of the world's greatest footballers, Ronaldo and Messi. Although he is still relatively young, he has become a respected player in the UK and globally. I guess and I hope that in the very near future he becomes the greatest player in the world. I have no doubt that he can do this, because he is an extremely determined person and works hard to be successful. He's a world-class player and can go from strength to strength. Probably the thing I love most about him is he is remarkably down to earth. He has the world at his feet, and yet he still seems like the boy next door. Okay, so I'm going to go through this topic now and point out some of the things that will help you to get a higher band score in IELTS speaking. I'm not going to go through every item. I've highlighted lots of things, as you can see: fluency and coherence, grammatical range and accuracy, and lexical resource. I'm just going to pick out some of these and show you the way in which you can get a high band score in IELTS speaking. So first of all, in IELTS speaking, there are probably going to be lots of occasions when you want to say I like something or I don't like something. If we can look at this answer here, I don't actually use the words or I like or I don't like. I've used other words and phrases. This is going to improve your lexical resource grade. For example, I'm a massive fan of. You could also use this in the negative. I'm not a massive fan of. I'm obsessed with. This means I really love it. I'm addicted to it. I'm really into. If you are into something, it means you like it. I'm into dance music. I'm into tennis. A supporter of. This also means a fan of. There are some words in here that are connected to football. So you need to think about what sport you might talk about if you were in the IELTS exam. There are questions on sport in part 1, part 2 and part 3. So before you do the exam, think of a sport and learn some topic-specific vocabulary. For example, here I've used centre forward. This means he's a goal scorer. He plays up front. He's a striker. National team. Your national team is when you play for your country. Trophies. These are what you get when you win a competition. For example, the FA Cup. The Golden Boot. This is given to the player who scores the most goals. It might be in the World Cup, in the Champions League, or in the Euros, for example. On loan to other clubs. This is what happens in football. Sometimes a football club has a player, but they want them to get some more experience. So they send them to another club, they pay their wages, but they're getting the experience of playing at another club. And then they come back to their home club and they start playing them again. I'm not going to individually go through all of the organisation comments, but notice how many organisation words and phrases I've used. So make sure you know lots of these and have them ready for the IELTS exam. Ones to give you thinking time, like, oh, let me think. Well. And again here we've got lots of organisation words and phrases that you can use, not just for this topic, for other topics in IELTS speaking. In terms of vocabulary, we've got the calendar year. This means a full year, so from the beginning of 2017 to the end of 2017. We talk about seasons in sport, and usually a sport is not played all year, it's played in a season. Football is usually August to around May time in the UK. Relatively young. When you're describing people, try to avoid just saying he's young, he's quite young, he's very young. Relatively young. A respected player. You could use this to talk about a business person as well, a respected business person. Globally, meaning all over the world, internationally. It's useful to have lots of words and phrases to talk about now or in the future. In the very near future means soon. A world-class player. This could be used for the person that you're going to talk about. To go from strength to strength. This is an idiomatic expression, and it means they're already very strong and very good, but they can go on to become even better. Remarkably down to earth. Again, instead of using very, we've used remarkably, extremely, incredibly. Down to earth is very useful for describing people, and it means somebody who still has their feet on the ground. They may have achieved great success, but they are still a very normal person. The world at his feet. This is a great idiomatic expression, not just for sports people, but it could also be used for somebody who is like young and can achieve lots in their lifetime. And yet he still seems like the boy next door. This is a great idiomatic expression, the boy next door. It's saying that although he's famous and he's got loads of money, again, he seems very normal. He's just like a boy who would live next door to you. If you're going to take the IELTS exam, remember to take a look on our website, prepareforielts.com, where you will find our bite-sized IELTS blog with lots more free advice on how to pass the IELTS exam. There are IELTS writing model answers, both general and academic, that will be useful to look at. And subscribe to our YouTube channel because I frequently put videos on there, bonus videos that you can watch as well. Thank you very much for watching, and good luck if you're taking IELTS soon.